All right, how's it going, everyone? Because of my mishap with the audio the other day, yeah, it was the other day. I've decided to, instead of just typing up the list of the FAQs and kind of what was talked about, I figured I'd just kind of ramble here so that way you guys could have something to listen to, and hopefully it'll give you more of an idea of what to expect on Saturday. So I'm sure I'll probably leave stuff out that was said Sunday night, but I will try my absolute best to encompass, what all was said and hopefully answer some questions that people might have. But again, if there are more questions, feel free to put them in either our Discord, our Facebook, or just DM either any of us really. But you can DM FarHaven on Facebook or Discord or whatever. So actually, you can't DM FarHaven on Discord, but either way, you can you can direct message Jacob Bryant or NetRift on Discord, Jacob Bryant on Facebook, or in the group it's Yakov Mansari in the FarHaven group on Discord. But either way, or you can just post it in general or questions. Sorry, or in the Facebook group. What I'm saying is, if you have more questions, ask them and we'll still answer them. But so yeah, let's talk about Saturday. I'm going to try to remember some of the questions first before I go into it. One of the questions was, will there be a bathroom? There will be a porta potty. The reason there is a porta potty is because the property owner has requested that we have that because there is apparently no running water in the nearest cabin to our field. So he said, one of the requirements for us hosting this event was he wanted porta potties, or a porta potty at least, and I said that's totally fine. So I got one coming in. That'll be here this Friday, and so it'll be there first thing in the morning till the end of the day. Well, I mean, they'll pick it up later, but it'll be there all day if you need to go. That will be there. In a second, you can see I have the map up here. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let me show you guys how to get here. So this is 545 Wolfskin Road right here. Now, I'm going to show you on Street View as well, just a second here. So you're going to come in, if you come from this way, you're going to pass this right here, this driveway that goes into the sawmill and kind of some private property here. That is not where you need to turn. You need to turn past this fence, right? You'll see a fence and you're going to turn down this dirt road. The dirt road is more marked, it's more well marked than it looks like on the maps here. And if you come from this way, you're just going to go past a long field until you finally get here. So I'm going to hop into Street View here just to show you what that looks like. So again, if you're coming from this way, let's just go down here, right? Say you're coming from this way, you're going to see this truck right here, Alexander Firewood and Lumber right here. This driveway is not the one. Do not go in this driveway, right? You're going to keep going. And also this one right here, this is not it. You need to keep going past the fence to right here, okay? And then you're going to go down this road, all right? There'll be a big A right here on this pole, and you've got this fence to kind of go. But this is it. I promise this is the right one. You'll see some fields. And again, if you're coming down from this way, then you'll see all these fields. And our event is actually going to be up here on this field. So you'll come down here, and you'll see it right here. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit to show you where you're going to go. You're going to follow this road straight, and I'll show you back on the satellite here in a minute. And you're going to see an RV on the left. So just keep going straight, and there'll be some blue trash cans down here. Just keep following these blue trash cans where they'll be on your left. Just follow that street, or that quote street, the road. And then there will be a pond on the right past here, and you'll see a little building back in this area. And that's where you're going to want to park. Now, by the time you get here, if you get lost, you'll probably see our tents and everything set up here. So you should be able, if you see a bunch of tents up here and maybe a couple people walking around dressed like a wizard, then you know you have come to the right place. And as well, I will put my personal phone number in the Discord and the Facebook group prior to. So if you guys get lost, you just give me a call, or you can put it in one of the socials and be like, hey, DM me or whatever. Be like, hey, where am I? I'm kind of lost. Help me get here, and we'll get you there. So don't worry about that. Now let's go back to the satellite view here. So as I was saying, so this is the road you're going to turn into, right? And you're going to keep going straight. Don't turn left. Don't turn right. Keep going straight. This is where the RV will be, and this is where the blue trash cans will be. So you're going to keep going. There'll be some, like a trailer and some, like a semi-truck trailer right here. You just keep going past that. Really, you can't miss it. If you're on this road, you're going to find it. Don't go up this road under the grass yet. Well, here's the thing. if you are here early, then yeah, you can drive up and you have a tent to set up. You can drive up and bring your stuff up there to set everything up. But come see us down here first before you do that. So yeah, the porta potty is going to be around here somewhere, and this is the building you're going to look for. So you're just going to want to park, on this area here. But yeah, our event will be hosted kind of up here. So it's going to be in this area, this little path right here, and also this field, right? So we've got quite a little bit of room to play with here. As pertains to special requests by the property owner, no drugs. For this particular event, no alcohol. If we want alcohol, that we have to go through another. There's some more things that need to be done for alcohol, but basically that is not in place for this event. So no drugs or alcohol. I guess vaping and cigarettes are fine, but just make sure you do that away from the site or away from the actual in-play area, and don't light his fields or woods on fire with your cigarette ashes or butts. Also, what is not allowed is going deep into the woods for this event. He says that since it's during hunting season, he has some people that he is afraid of poachers, and he just doesn't want anyone to get hurt, which is a very valid and reasonable request. Even though I do believe that is unlikely, it's still, I'm going to respect the property owner's wishes. So basically, we can kind of get in like the edge of the woods and maybe on this road, but that's about it. He really doesn't want us going into the woods, and because it's in deer season. Now, after deer season, like for our next event, he said the whole property is fair game. So that's just something we're going to have to deal with this event. And, depending on how many people we have show up, it might not even be that much of a problem. We might not even need to go into the woods. So that's pretty much it restriction-wise of the property. We can't go in this building because it's locked and there's no running water or electricity. So there's really not a point going in that building. This building right here is kind of an open area. This is there's like a grill and some stuff. So I haven't exactly determined how we're going to set everything up. We're going up Friday night to camp out to just to make sure that we can get everything set up in time. So we might put the tavern down here. We might put the tavern up here. I have not really decided on that. So that's TBD. But this whole area is in play. Basically from here to here is in play, but do not get in the water. We do not have any, there might be canoes, but basically that is not permitted for this event either, due to insurance reasons and because of the property owner's wishes. He's fine with people getting in there so long as we have the proper avenues in place for the insurance and stuff, but we do not have that in place for this event. So stay out of the water, please. Now I think that really is just about it in terms of the property owner's restrictions and stuff. He does know we're coming. That was a question, to make sure that he does know this event's happening. He does. And he is very much... He's a great guy. He's very. He was very much for this event. He was very happy to host it, and we are incredibly grateful for that. So he said he actually might come out and check out our event, maybe come watch us a little bit. So he was very interested in this event and stuff. So if you see him out there, make sure we give him a big old heartfelt thanks, because he is not many LARPs have access to property like this. So we are very blessed to have this. But he also has said that he wants us to be able to grow our event. So, hopefully we can have, my vision for this LARP is to kind of be reminiscent of European style LARPs, where we have tent cities set up, like in-game tents, maybe all over here, all over here, all over this field. There are paths that connect all of it. So we could have, all of this could be, filled up. We have almost infinite room to grow here. We could host thousands of people here at this event. Obviously, we're just starting out, so that's a long way down the road. But basically, the property owner he is all for this event, and we are very grateful for him. And he's also, you know what? No, I'm not going to talk about his personal information. I don't know if he wants about that out there. But anyway, you'll meet him. Hopefully he'll come out and see us. So his name is Jerry, and he's a great guy. So let's see. Outside of that, I think that's all I've got for the property. Go ahead and talk about some of the event stuff. The event is starting at 9, but opening ceremonies are not until 10. So we have an hour to get everything situated. If you need help with your character sheet, if you want to practice combat, whatever you need to do, get here at 9 if you want to set up your tent, if you're bringing a tent, various things of that nature. Basically, there's an hour buffer between the start of the event and the start of game. When 10 o'clock rolls around, we'll do opening ceremonies, which is basically just we'll get up there and we'll kind of talk about the event, talk about the itinerary for the day, and we'll go over all the safety information as well. And I'll kind of recap all the stuff that I've said here as well, just to make sure everyone got it. And then we will also, from 10 and onward till the end of the event, the game will be on, right? So we'll be in character, we'll be in play. Try to remain in character as much as possible, try to interact in character. And we, of course, if you need a break being in character, that's totally fine. Go take you a break. Just, if you want to be completely out of character, you can put your fist, ball up a fist, put it over your head. And that's how I'll talk about that more in a minute. But that means if a person is doing that, they are out of character. And also if they're wearing a white headband, that means they are out of character. And you just don't see them, right? So that means, like if you see like a member of plot that has a white headband on, they're moving from place to place trying to set up monsters or whatever, just pretend like you don't see them and you can't really interact with them or anything of the sort. The bathroom is an strictly out of play area. Do not go into the bathroom to hide. Do not camp out the bathroom waiting on people, because that's just not fair. No one wants to go take a dump and then come out and be harassed by a wraith or something like that, or a bandit, another player trying to rob them. So let's just keep that, use your common sense, use good judgment with that. Just don't harass the bathroom patrons, I guess. Also, other headband colors. There are 3 headband colors. There are actually, let me check the rules to make sure I'm saying this right. I've already talked about the white headband. Another headband color is orange. If a character is wearing an orange headband, that means that they are non-combatant characters. Now, what a non-combatant character means is that character, or that player rather, wishes to not participate in combat, which is totally fine. You can play a non-combatant character if you wish. Now, you can still be killed as a non-combatant character, but that just means that combat is forbidden. So no one can hit you, no one can throw packets or whatever at you. But if someone, say you're non-combatant and a combatant character comes up to you and they want to kill you, then you have pretty much no defenses, and they can just say, oh, I kill you or whatever, or they can just tap you once with their sword and then you die, right? Now, someone can interrupt this and someone can defend you, and you can still play healer roles and stuff, like if you're a non-combatant, but you still can be killed as well, and you can't do combat. And that's totally optional. That's, you just need to wear an orange headband, or have an orange headband incorporated into your costume somehow. So some people choose to do that, and that is totally up to them. Some people, combat is just not their thing, and that's totally fine. And the third color headband is like a teal, right? Like a teal blue color. Yep, it's a teal blue color, and that is for Mist Form. And Mist Form is a druid ability. Now, what that means is if you see a character wearing a teal blue colored headband, that means that you can see a vague shape of them, but you can't really interact with them. You can't damage them. Basically, that just means they're in mist form, and you treat them as like, oh, there's kind of a cloud of mist that resembles a human floating by me, right? So you can read up on mist form in the rule book to learn more about the nuances of that. But those are the 3 color headbands: white, orange, and teal or blue. I think it's like a turquoise teal. I'll have to look at them. I can't remember. I'll have those in game. If you are playing a druid and you get the mist form ability, I'll have those for you. So no problem at all. Yeah, and if you do have any questions or you need help setting up your character, that's totally fine. Like I said, we'll have an hour before opening ceremony, so if you want to show up between 9 and 10 to get everything situated, we can help you do your character sheet. We can help you, ask and answer any questions, practice combat, do whatever you need. And we can help you out with that. In terms of knowing the rule book, it is not required to have read the entire thing, not required to even fully understand it, because you're going to learn most of that through game anyway. So basically, it's there as a guide. The rulebook is there as a guide to look things up. It's there as a guide to help you level up. It's there as a guide to help you understand abilities. And that is kind of the source of truth for the game, right? So if there's any kind of dispute, we go to the rulebook. What does the rulebook say, right? That's what it says. That's the rulebook governs the game, but most of it you will pick up in game. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say that it doesn't help to have read it or to know it. That will certainly give you an edge and certainly help you understand it better, but, don't be daunted by it because it is quite a comprehensive work there, I guess. Well, not a comprehensive work, but it's a lot, right? There is a lot in there, and it's hard to digest. I understand. So just do your best with that, and show up and don't be scared because most everyone here is new. We just started out. This is our only our second event, so pretty much everyone is new. Everyone is still learning the ropes. So don't. We're gonna make mistakes. Everybody's gonna have questions. And that's just part of it, right? That's how it is. And even if you were a new player and this LARP had been going for a while and we had more high level players, more experienced players, that's totally fine. New players are not expected to know everything right off the bat, right? They're expected to learn. And as long as you have, I don't even even say that. Like, as long as you are there, you're gonna have a great time. You're gonna learn everything. People are gonna help you. If you have a question, like say you're fighting someone, you get hit with an ice bolt, right, or frost bolt. Excuse me. You get hit with frost bolt, and you have no idea what that does, right? So you can just, like I said, put your fist above your head. And say, excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't know, what does that do? And they will be, whomever it is, whether it's a monster, whether it's another player, they should be more than happy to explain to you, okay, this is what Frostbolt does, and this is what what the effects were for you, and they're not going to count that against you or anything of the sort, right? They're going to help you learn the game, and it's, if someone gives you, if you're not sure what to do about anything, someone gives you a scroll, someone gives you a potion, someone gives you an enchanted object, and you have no idea how to use it or what they even do. You have no idea what your abilities do, how to level up, where the lore master is, what any of that means. Feel free to ask questions, right? Come find me. If I'm in character, I'll be the guy in a big red wizard hat. You can't miss me. And if I'm playing a monster, if I'm doing plot stuff or whatever, then hopefully you'll just know my face, or just just ask for Jacob, ask for the game owner, director, whatever you want to call it. Someone will help you, and if no one else does, then I definitely will. So come find me in game, and you'll know who I am as well, because I'll be doing opening ceremonies. I'll be introducing myself as Jacob, and then in game, obviously as my character. So let me think. Were there any other questions? This was a question I remember. If you get a new piece of gear outside of game, you are more than welcome to create a backstory for how your character acquired that. What you look like in game is what you look like. Obviously with some caveats, right? If you're 6 foot tall and you're playing a dwarf, obviously your character is a little shorter, and vice versa. If you're 5 feet tall and you're playing a 6.5 foot elf, then your character is obviously going to be taller than you are. But in terms of costumes, makeup, ears, beards, all that stuff, that's what you are. Clothing, items, that is what your character looks like. So if you get a new piece of, say you get a new belt out of game and you bring that into the game and you want to come up with a story of how you got that, people would notice, oh, you got a new belt. That's totally fine. And typically, this is actually kind of up in the air. This is something we're going to need to think about. Like, say you have an enchanted belt, right? And you have a belt that's enchanted with, I don't know, polymath's wit. I think you can do that with a belt. I'll have to look that up. But say it's enchanted, and you acquire a new piece of costume out of game. I'm going to say that you can visit an enchanter to transfer the effect onto the new belt, right? The effect stays with that old belt until you take it to an enchanter and have it transferred over. But just because you want to upgrade your costume, I'm not going to punish you for that. You shouldn't be punished for wanting to upgrade your costume and be like, oh, well, now I'm going to miss out on this really powerful enchantment I had, or even a weaker enchantment. If you're a lower level and you have just a few enchantments, that's, if you get a new piece of gear or whatever, you can transfer enchantments via the enchanters or enchantment trainers. Another question was, if you were a new player a boffer longsword will be provided for you. You will a boffer, for those that don't know, if those are completely new to LARP, is basically a weapon made of like foam, PVC, or fiberglass, whatever the core is made of, and duct tape. They're not very pretty, but they do get the job done. Caleb was saying that he thinks that it role plays, a new adventurer having kind of an unwieldy, rudimentary sword well. And that's a nice way to look at it, but the reason is we just made them in bulk one day, and we had a bunch, like 5 or 6 people making them, and not all of them were created equally. They were created quickly, and they were like some of them have 3-inch handles, some of them have like 6-inch handles. So you will not be without a weapon. Now, if you want to bring your own weapons, that's totally fine. The in-game shop will have weapons as well for sale for in-game currency. We do. So, and that's something that's fairly unique to our LARP as well. Maybe it depends on the LARP. In the LARPs I've been to, haven't had this. We have an NPC or plot run in-game shop. So although characters are definitely encouraged and allowed to have their own shops, we have one run by the plot as well. So that one will be in one of the tents. You'll be able to go in there and shop. This is all in-game currency. You can buy... there's costume pieces, there's reagents, there's weapons, enchantments, all sorts of stuff that'll be in there. Jewelry, I'm trying to think of what else we got. Just like little trinkets here and there. Like I've got here's a little small chest I got the other day. It's like, 5 inches by 4 inches. It's a nice little box, just stuff like that. There's all sorts of stuff in this in-game shop, and you can buy stuff in there for in-game currency as well. That shop will have other boffer weapons for sale. So I think we've got some axes, some maces, a bunch of daggers, and I don't remember what else. Or just if you want a different longsword, or if you want to dual wield the swords, that's totally fine. There are no. Hang on, before I go to that point. While I'm on the subject of the store, you do not need to bring any cash to the event if you are a new player. If you are a new player, everything is free for you. And if you are a returning player, then you purchase your meal tickets and entry tickets online. And outside of that, everything in-game is in-game currency only. Now, if you are, say you're a crafter in real life and you make leather working, right, and you want to take commissions, because I know that requires real-world money and real-world time, you can absolutely do that out of game. Be like, hey, can you make me a pouch? Absolutely, that'll be $20. I'm just making up a price, and then you can have that ready at the next game or whatever. But inside the actual game should be cashless and should be in-game currency only. So if you want, you can sell those things for in-game currency, right? Like you can sell a pouch for, 10 gem, whatever. That's the in-game currency, by the way, is gem. It comes in 3 denominations: bits, shards, and gem. This is in the rule book, but 10 bits are in a shard, 10 shards are in a gem. So 1 gem is worth 100 bits, right? So that's how the currency works in the game. Let's try to keep inflation down as much as possible, but who knows? The in-game economy is the in-game economy. So whoever, that might inflate up the wazoo, and it might keep it relatively low. Who can say? Inside the game, let's try to keep it in-game currency. No cash required for a meal. Just make sure if you are a returning player, you have your meal ticket. But I think most of the people at this event are going to be new players anyway, which is great. We're very happy to have you guys, and because of that, we want to, we want to give you a gift, and the gift is free entry and free meal tickets. So just show on up, and whatever you bring, whatever you got, and whatever your costume. It doesn't have to be extravagant, just whatever you can put together. And while I'm on the subject of costumes, if you see in the rule book, there are different types of armor. And one of the lowest form of armor is called grit. Now, what grit armor is basically just showing up in costume. So if you show up in costume, then you automatically get 1 armor, right? So you can resist 1 hit, right? Which, believe it or not, is actually a pretty dang good thing. And it covers your entire body, the grit does. So that's a good way of working with the armor system to say you have armor everywhere, even if it's just 1. With just wearing a costume. So it's kind of a little boon to people that are able to show up in costume. Now, if you don't have a costume, still show up. Come on, we want you. You know, you can build your costume later or whatever, but you know, it really adds to the immersion when you have your own costume. You'll have more fun with your own costume, and just seeing everyone in costume is kind of one of the big draws of LARP in general. So yeah, it's a little benefit if you show up in costume as well. Let's see. Now I've lost my train of thought for the other one. Oh, weapons. That's right. So weapon restrictions. In terms of weapon usage, it's pretty much unrestricted, right? If you want to dual wield, you can. If you want to have a long sword, you can. If you want to have a short sword and shield, you can. You want to have a pole arm, you want to have a staff, whatever you want. There are no skills you have to learn, no prerequisites, nothing like that. It is pretty much just whatever you can wield. Now, there are a few caveats, but that is only with ranged weapons. So let me pull it up right here. I typed it up the other day. Someone was asking me in a direct message. But basically, hang on, let me just pull it up before I tell you wrong. Let's do that. Sorry. Right. So daggers. Daggers need level 2 in Rogue to use. Bows need level 1 in Skirmisher. The blowgun needs level 2 in Skirmisher, and the rune gun needs level 4 in Skirmisher. But outside of that, there are no weapon restrictions. You can use whatever you want. Also, crossbows do count as bows. So, you know, if you have a crossbow, make sure you have level 1 of Skirmisher. Or alternatively, you can enchant it with either Polymath's Wit, or whatever the other enchantment is for giving you the archery skill or the dagger skill or whatever it is. I'm saying there are ways to get around not having that skill. Like if it's an enchantment bow that gives you the skill of archery, then you can use that without knowing level 1 of archery. So there are ways to get around that, but for the most part, you know, you use whatever melee weapons you want. Well, as long as they're period accurate, right? Don't try not to come in here with like a replica K-bar knife or anything like that. And the period is like medieval fantasy, so you know, roughly medieval, but obviously we have some sort of some leeway. Like there are pirates in this world. There are you know, some more Eastern influenced things. So like katanas could potentially be okay. You know, European long swords, various things, you know, of that nature. Everything it's fantasy, right? So I'm not gonna, you know, I want people to play the character they want to play within the confines of FarHaven, obviously. But, you know, I'm not gonna stamp out creativity for the most part. You know, I want people to play the character they want to play, and that's why our characters have no racial benefits, right? If you want to play a Tenshi warrior, you can. If you want to play a Kaborian mage, you can, right? You can play whatever you want. So, another thing that I've talked to a couple people about is we have, not for this event, but in the works, we have some gathering and crafting skills that will be added to the actual level skills. And those will be added for the next event, right? So they'll be, instead of skirmisher, rogue, all those kind of things, there will be a crafting one and a gathering one, just so people that want to do a purely crafting route can level up normally outside of their professions and also get some boons that way as well. I was asked how reagents are required in game for various crafting things, and there will be chests throughout the game. You can lockpick them. Some of them don't require lockpicking. Some of them will be sold in the in-game shop. Some of them will be dropped by monsters. You know, various things of that sort. And as well, you can buy property, and if you own property, then you can, I don't know why I said property like that. I put a lot of emphasis on the T. Anyway, if you own property, you can purchase some production facilities for whatever reagents you want, and then in between game they will produce reagents, and then at the next game you will get those reagents as part of your new player stuff. You will be given upon check-in So that's kind of between 9 and 10 is check-in time as well. You come up, get your character sheet turned in, and make sure that's all good to go. You'll receive your starting materials and stuff. So everyone starts with a little bit of starting currency as well. I think you get, what do you get? I think 2 shards and 5 bits. I think that's what everyone starts with, is starting currency. So if you can bring a belt with some pouches, that's always great to have for a LARP. It's just places to put things, because you will be getting things, and it's nice to be able to put those places. And what else do you get? You start with, I think you have some banknotes. Can't remember exactly what all you get. But yeah, you'll get some starting. Oh, you'll get your skill cards. Of course, you'll get your skill cards for whatever skills you have, and those are required to have on you at all times. If you don't have a skill card on you, you cannot cast that spell or use that ability. So you have to have your skill cards. We might run out. We have a lot of players coming, so we might run out of those. And if we do run out of those, then we will just I will give you something temporary to represent your skill card, and then for the next event we'll have those printed out for you, but you will be required to have the temporary skill card on you as well. So those are necessary to have. I think that might be about it. I've gone over quite a bit. Sorry if it went over too long, but if you guys have any questions, really feel free to DM me. Feel free to post in questions in Discord, or the FarHaven group message, or the group page on Facebook, or just DM me at FarHaven or Jacob Bryant on Facebook, or just DM Yakov Mansari or NetRift on Discord. So I think that's all I've got, and I will put this up on Facebook, I will put this up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and I will link this video there on the Facebook page and the Discord. So I hope this was better than nothing. I think I covered most of the questions that were asked the other day. Again, I apologize for screwing up the recording, and corrupting the audio. That was my fault, and I could not get it fixed. So I apologize, and I hope this is second best. I hope this is good. I hope this helps someone. So thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys on Saturday. We're really, really excited, and thank you guys all so much for showing interest in it. It means the world to me. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you at the event. Bye-bye.